Hi everybody, I'm very excited to be doing this new installment of a series that I don't do nearly enough called First Time Spins, or whatever I'll be calling it by the time it becomes more of a regular thing. Now, the reason I was able to do this was first of all because I'm retired and I have more time. Although even though retirement means you get more time, I gotta tell you, I'm doing other things too. I'm going shopping at the record store, I'm going doing chores, I'm watching people's videos, I'm making my own videos, so still there's a lot to do. But I also made a video recently where I was discussing purging myself in 2022 of a lot of vinyl, excess vinyl. And of course, no sooner did I make that video, and then about a week later I started thinking, I kind of like vinyl still. I never said I was going to completely abandon all vinyl, but part of the reason for doing this exercise is as I go along, it will help me decide which vinyl I feel I want to keep that I already have and which vinyl I don't want to keep. All right, so I'm going to have a few titles here. All of these are vinyl records that I've played. And I've got, I don't know, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, if I can add. And some notes on a few of them. All right, first up, this is a Record Store Day release by one of my favorite artists, Joan Jett, and in particular, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. And this was called Acoustics. This is supposed to be just a taste of a coming soon 2LP set with 20 additional tracks. This was just a taste, but yet I don't know when this 2LP 20-song package is coming. All right, but I listened to this, and having loved Joan Jett since around 1982 when I first heard I Love Rock and Roll, and being such a fan, I love this whole thing. This was a no-brainer for me. There's only 8 tracks on here. And they're all acoustic versions, and you would think some of these songs wouldn't lend themselves very well to acoustic takes, but they really did. They were good. You Drive Me Wild, You Don't Know What You've Got, School Days, Good Music. That's all on side 1, and they're all written by Joan Jett, or at least partly by Joan Jett. And B-side we have Fresh Start, which is pretty good too. I Hate Myself for Loving You, Androgynous, live in Los Angeles. Androgynous is the only song here on this package that's not written at all by Joan, written by Paul Westerberg, and Bad Reputation, live. So you have Androgynous and Bad Reputation are 2 live tracks. The other 6 are just acoustic songs. And this is solid Joan all the way through. I highly recommend it for Joan Jett fans. No problem there. All right, next up, I'm going to talk a little bit about Frank Sinatra. Now, my story is that I went Frank Sinatra crazy, and this is the kind of thing I'm trying not to do anymore. At one point, I bought something like 40 or 50 Sinatra albums, and I didn't know how many I had left, because at one point, I purged myself of old Blue Eyes at some point, because I only had about 16 albums left. So I had about 16 albums in my collection, and I picked the ones I thought might be the best or well-regarded. So, although I don't have Watertown, and I know Watertown is supposed to be a very fine album, later album from Frank. But what happened was, in this purge, I talked to a person I know, and I said, let's meet up, and, he had interest in buying these remaining Sinatra albums from me. Well, we had a couple of attempts to get together to, for him to buy these from me, and our schedules, both times there was a problem, and unfortunately we couldn't get together to finalize it. So I don't know if that's a good thing now, because in the meantime I wound up being able to listen to one of these albums. I said, let me pull one of these out and listen to it after all and see what I think. And I pulled out an album which, unbeknownst to me, is considered, when I read up on it afterwards, his most successful album, I think, and it's Come Dance With Me. This album is the one I decided to go with, and I really enjoyed this. What I really enjoyed about it was the Billy May orchestration. Frank was at the top of his game, really up and upbeat and really into it and performing it well, and everything's swinging and exciting, and the musicianship. I love big band stuff and brassy stuff. I really enjoyed this whole album, and it's all about dancing. Songs here are all about dancing, and like I said, stuff like Cheek to Cheek, Something's Gotta Give, Dancing in the Dark, Too Close for Comfort. I could have danced all night. But the thing is, at the very end, the last track is called The Last Dance. And The Last Dance is a very slow and easy song, which is kind of a beautiful way to end the record, because the rest of this record is all, like I said, up-tempo, kind of, you know, vim and verve kind of stuff. So I enjoyed this, and I said, So I'm glad I didn't really let this go. I want to keep this one, or maybe. And now I'm thinking I'm going to have to listen to the other Sinatra stuff to decide if I want to keep it all or sell some of it or what I'm going to do. All right, so there you go. All right, next up, I have an album here by the Merry-Go-Round, their only album. Okay, and it has You're a Very Lovely Woman on it and Live. Now, I played this album. This is, I think I have notes here. Hold on a minute. I want to make sure I get this right. Emmett Rhodes. Let's not forget singer-songwriter Emmett Rhodes. A lot of people love Emmett Rhodes. A lot of people love this record. I played it, and even though it's from 1967, and it's like a little psychedelia feel, and I like to collect all this stuff and listen to it, it wasn't bad. You know, I put it on, and I enjoyed what I heard, but none of the songs really grabbed me except for the first song on this album, a song called Live. Now, let me tell you about the song Live. I first became accustomed to it from hearing the Bangles do it, you know, and back then, in the 1980s, I had no idea it was a cover song. Debbie Peterson, the drummer, sings the song Live in the Bangles, and I remember going to an outdoor concert of the Bangles, I want to say 1986 maybe, and it's available. I've seen it. It's you know, it's available. Well, maybe not the show I went to, but one of the live shows. I enjoyed that show, but I saw a video of a live performance, whatever I'm trying to get at here. And when I first saw it back in the 80s, I saw it in concert for myself, and I saw it on HBO or something. When I saw Debbie, these beautiful women, the Bangles, playing this, and this girl enticing you to live, you know, don't stay in your room, get out there and live, you know, which I do. I don't live in this 24/7, you know, in this room. But to hear a woman, a pretty woman like that, sing on the drums, she's shaking her head, she's bang, smashing the drums. I said, this is a great song. I love that song. I had no idea it was originally, you know, written by Emmett Rhodes and performed by the Merry-Go-Round. Now, this is their only album. From what I understand, they didn't do any other actual albums. They didn't last very long. But anyway, I like the song Live here, but I got to tell you, this is one of those cases where I first heard the Bangles version. I'd much rather have a pretty girl telling me to live. You know, I just like it a lot better than this version. This version's fine. It's enjoyable. But I prefer the Bangles version. And anyway, after going around in circles here, I just discovered that I didn't really want to hear this album again. I really don't. Maybe I would listen to the song Live again, but am I going to hold on to this just for their version of Live? It's not that great. I know out of all the albums I'm talking about here today, this is going to be the most disagreeable one out there. Fine. We all have different tastes. Bottom line is, I don't need the album. So who's going to get it? My friend Robert S., who has a channel, Rob Scior Music. He was with me, actually, at the record store when I bought this, and he wanted it, but I got it over him, and I'm going to give it to him for nothing. He's been a real good guy. He's a great guy, those who know him, and he's done me so many nice deeds. Although I did treat you to, you know, a concert, too. So, but anyway, this is yours, Robert. You know, I just don't really feel like hearing it again. That's all about all I could say. Strange as that might seem. All right, next up. Next album I have is Tom Petty. I'm a Tom Petty fan. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This is Southern Accents from 1985. And, you know, I love Tom Petty's biggest songs, you know. I mean, I love the songs that, you know, I have like a 2 CD set of his best, quote, stuff. But I never heard this album, Southern Accents, in its entirety. So, I'm trying to get through all of Tom Petty's full albums. So, here's the deal. The first side of this, and I have some notes I'm referring to, so don't mind me, you know. First side of this, solid all the way through, I thought. The song Rebels, really good. It Ain't Nothing to Me. Don't Come Around Here No More, of course. Don't Come Around Here No More, back in the day. It took a while for me to enjoy that, but now I like it. It's really enjoyable. It's kind of Beatlesque in places, you know. It's got like sitar, and it was a hit. And the video, I think, back in the 80s made me appreciate that. So, of course, I like that. Southern Accents, and it says ballad. It's been a while since I heard this in preparation. I don't remember it all. Southern Accents, I got ballad in parentheses. Anyway, side 1, no problem. Flip the album over to side 2. I like the song Make It Better, Forget About Me, in parentheses. I like that. And then after that, the rest of the songs don't really hit me on side 2. Spike is not bad, but Dogs on the Run, not bad, but Mary's New Car, very generic. The Best of Everything ties up the whole album somehow. But actually, it's a good ending. You know, good ending the way it all comes together at the end, I thought. But out of 9 songs on here, I think I like about 5 of the 9. I'm definitely going to keep this. Question still remains. Am I going with an album like this, am I going to settle for a CD and sell this? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to let the stuff go. All right, next up we have something unusual. This was a Record Store Day release. It was Irwin Allen's Lost in Space, and a complete and utter disappointment. I mean, I bought this because it's on colored wax mostly, but this is strictly for collectors only. If you're a hardcore collector and you like colored vinyl, keep it, but there's not much on here. Side A has the Season 1 and Season 2 main title theme and the end, and it's got the songs for the bumpers, which aren't very long, the bumpers for between the commercials, for Season 2 and 3, and it's very short, too. This is a very short disc. Side B has interviews with Jonathan Harris from 1966. Well, one interview with Jonathan Harris from 1966, which is very interesting, and I've heard that before. And then you have also interviews with Guy Williams and June Lockhart from the cast, and I would say that's not as good as the Jonathan Harris, Dr. Smith interviews, but then you get an interview with Irwin Allen. You get an end title theme to the 1998 special, Lost in Space Forever. The bottom line is this was overpriced and underwhelming. I'm glad my friend Doc Dacus, hi Doc, out there, if you're watching, has helped me get a copy of the real soundtrack, which I was hoping this would be a little more like that, would have a little more soundtrack stuff on it from the whole show. So a little disappointing. Okay, the last one here, some of you will stick around, some of you will hightail it out of here, is Dean Martin, Pretty Baby. Now, I started thinking I like the sound of Dean Martin's voice a lot better than Frank Sinatra's. That remains to be heard, okay, because I haven't listened to all Sinatra stuff. But I don't know how far I'm going to go with Dino. I've gotten a few albums by him already, and I like his voice. I also like Tom Jones' voice and Engelbert Humperdinck. So like I said, here I am trying to purge myself, and what do you let go and what do you keep? I'll probably hang on to this for a while. By the way, I neglected to mention, I'll hang on to this too, because they're a collector's item. It's a collector's item, but to listen to, no thanks. But this one, again, it's all kinds of love songs, and you know, I Can't Give You Anything But Love, Sleepy Time Gal, I Don't Know Why, Pretty Baby. There's one song in here that I like, that I know, I should say, called The Object of My Affection. And I knew that song from of all people, Alfalfa, Carl Schweitzer, from the Little Rascals, the Our Gang series. I grew up with the Little Rascals, and Alfalfa sings the Object of My Affection. Not as good as Dean. This was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. For now, I'm going to hang on to it. So, yeah. That's it for this installment, folks. The only one here that I'm not going to keep is the merry-go-round, which is kind of strange, really, you know. But I'm telling you how I feel about it. All right, so thank you for joining me. Hopefully you'll join me for more of these as I go through a lot of records I need to listen to yet. Cheers.